This episode is dedicated to Chief Master Sergeant Richard Etchberger. Operation Pathfinder Navigating PTSD, episode number 11. Because I have PTSD. And in this intel briefing, I will discuss the nagging voice that is playing over and over again in your head by PTSD. Hello everyone, I'm your host Ben Williams, veteran and advocate. PTSD is the toughest enemy you'll ever face. This relentless adversary will destroy you from the inside out until it's taken you early in life, unless you fight back. He is determined and relentless. However, Operation Pathfinder's mission is to be a part of the solution when it comes to helping you with PTSD. You'll hear from fellow veterans, survivors, and professionals who have been there and understand. In each episode, we'll provide you with intel of purpose and hope to keep you on the move. Because I have PTSD is a voice screaming at us every day. That voice resonates from PTSD, our aggressor. And our aggressor is very ruthless. By giving us a built-in justification, because I have PTSD, we often overlook the flanking maneuvers we have at our disposal and turn the tides of war within. The screaming voice from PTSD is his smokescreen. A very highly effective smokescreen that paralyzes us and hampers our resilience. The smoke does not allow for us to witness nor appreciate our courage and honesty needed to push through the PTSD front lines and turn the tides of war. Some of our greatest strengths and weaknesses are within us already, but the smoke of PTSD is blinding us from seeing and utilizing our own deadly weapons we have at our disposal. The smoke screen is so very effective, we start to believe we are nothing more than a scratch record, skipping and reliving the same pattern of life day in and day out. When life gets tough, we fall back towards the smoke. That's our comfort zone, because we have PTSD. We fail to be honest with ourselves. PTSD is not an excuse. Think about this for a second. The smoke, fog, whatever name you want to give it, is only a distraction from the truth or vulnerability. PTSD knows he can keep you busy and frustrated from the actual productive situation, and he knows he can win by keeping you distracted. He's having you look at the left hand while he's beating the crap out of you with the right hand. This process is used nearly every single day by PTSD. By ignoring the right hand while he's smacking you does nothing to improve your situation. Being honest with yourself and knowing he's playing you, that will be the starting point to turn the tides. Understanding what PTSD is doing, that's only half the battle. Knowing we have PTSD and becoming aware of our enemy is the first salvo in this war to take back our lives. I'm reminded of the Stockdale paradox. Admiral James Stockdale was a pilot that was shot down during the Vietnam War. He was captured by the North Vietnamese and endured over 7.5 years in a POW camp and tortured. While captive, he organized coded communication and instituted a structure and a system of discipline with the other prisoners. The purpose of his torture was to extract as much vital, intelligent information, but he never gave in. And for his perseverance, he was awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. During his captivity, he noticed that the prisoners that broke first chose to lie to themselves with false hope. Admiral James Stockdale explained the Stockdale paradox as, "You must never confuse faith that you will prevail in the end, which you can never afford to lose, with the discipline to confront the most brutal facts of your current reality, whatever that might be." It is important for you to be honest with yourself and aware of your current situation. By simply telling yourself, "Oh, I have PTSD," does not mitigate or eliminate PTSD. When you have PTSD, you're dealing with a reactionary process used by your brain to protect itself from further harm and pain. By recognizing PTSD and being aware where the pain is coming from, only then will you be able to push forward. Your pain is from witnessing a friend or a loved one dying or harmed. Recognizing that pain and working through it will help you when you find your team. And your team consists of medics, intel officers, counterintelligence officers, support staff, translators, etc. You can find out more information about your team in episode number 7 I discussed earlier. If your pain is from a sexual trauma or a violent physical trauma, acknowledging the trauma and working through it. PTSD is using your own mind against you and forcing you to ignore that pain. And when you ignore the pain, when you ignore what you have endured, only allows PTSD to push further and deeper into your mind. Your SORT team of intelligence officers, counterintelligence officers, medical support staff, etc. will assist you in deciphering the critical issues you're dealing with. Your team is there to guide you through your struggles and to help you understand the fog of war within. Do not ever think that you're in this battle alone. PTSD knows for a fact that he cannot win a battle with you if you have your own team in your corner. The psychological battle will be screaming at you to halt your assault on PTSD. You need to stay the course. If you're struggling to find your teammates, to find the help that you need to fight this battle, check in, veterans, you need to check in with your County Veteran Service Officer, CVSO, and you can refer back to episode number 8 in which I talked about this. In the show notes, you will find a link to all the CVS officers in your area. I've broken it down to every county in each state of this country. And you will be able to find the contact information for each CVSO. If you have challenges looking or locating for that CVSO or contacting them, don't give up. Check in with the local VFW, Veteran Foreign War Outpost, or the American Legion Outpost. Stop denying yourself happiness that you deserve. Yes, it's tough. Yes, it will be hard, but it is a heck of a lot easier on yourself, your family, and friends than if you just plain give up and you manifest all the pain, all the anger, all the misery that you're feeling right now times 100 to everybody around you if you give up. Do you want that? Then don't surrender. For trauma survivors and first responders, please check out episode number 9. I go into great detail there, and also you can see it in my show notes, where there's a list of organizations, nonprofit organizations out there that help first responders at no cost or little to no cost, and who are there to talk to and to listen and to give you the help you need. Sexual trauma survivors, physical trauma survivors, there's contact information there as well that helps you find the help that you need. Do not ever think that you have to deal with this war by yourself. There are so many people out there that are wanting to help you. I've learned this myself. I've been in your shoes. I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to be alone in a crowded room. And it sucks. You lie to yourself. You say, well, I can't trust this person. I don't think they'll ever understand. I don't think this. I don't think that. That's all bullshit. Start believing that you deserve happiness. Start fighting through this. Start building your team. Start trusting your team. And start winning this war so you can live the truly happy life that you deserve. Because I have PTSD, or because you have PTSD, whatever voice you want to play in your head, is only a false sense of security. It's a suffocating smoke. Staying the course and being aware of your situation are the key factors you need to win. Because you have PTSD will only tear you apart from your loved ones and your friends and your family. The smoke will slowly strangle you and keep you in a constant state of fear and loneliness. By having resilience and awareness, you will possess PTSD's kryptonite. Remember, remember, remember. Be true, be honest with yourself. Well, folks, that was a good one. I hope you get the message. There is hope out there. There's a lot of people out there that want to help you. And there are some people out there that need to help you so they can help themselves. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed to reach out and get the help you need. You deserve it. All right, before I wrap up this episode, I would like to honor a Vietnam veteran who paid the ultimate sacrifice in defense of our great nation. He was posthumously awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor due to his selfless sacrifice during the evacuation of Lima Site number 85 during the Vietnam War. His service before self allows me to continue to do what I love, and his name is U.S. Air Force Chief Master Sergeant Richard Etchberger. In the next Intel briefing, we'll discuss how the victimhood assault from PTSD stunts us from advancing as well. Please take a moment to subscribe to this free podcast. For you Apple users, check us out on iTunes, and Android users, you can find us on SoundCloud, Google Play, or Spotify to help build our army of warriors and take back our lives from this deadly enemy. The more subscribers and reviews help fuel our machine and be a beacon for other warriors that are struggling in silence. Until next time, keep on the move. Operation Pathfinder's podcast is based on my views and experience with PTSD, but will be evidence-based as possible. I welcome any comments, suggestions, or corrections of errors. I take no money from any drug, device, or medical companies. Always consult your own physician or therapist for any medical, mental health issues that you may be having. This entire disclaimer also applies to any guest or contributors to the podcast. Under no circumstances shall Operation Pathfinder, any guest or contributors to the podcast, or any employees, associates, or affiliates of Operation Pathfinder be responsible for the damages arising from the use of this podcast.